Good morning. Today is the 16th of February and here we are at Botleigh Grange Hotel near Southampton for a little classic car Sunday event. It's not the biggest event, it is really cold this morning, so that probably explains it, but there are some cars here. In fact, I've got one of the few foreign made cars here. Most of them are British made cars, but you expect that, wouldn't you, in this country. We'll start off with this Peugeot 504 Cabriolet. This is a later one than the one I filmed last year. This is a 1978 model that was converted locally to right-hand drive by a dealer. The earlier models, like the one I drove, a 73, they were converted by a company called Hodeck in Surrey. This was converted by a dealer. You can see the the kind of way that the hood sort of fits and doesn't fit of this window. They're very, very stylish cars. Some people prefer the earlier version. I think I actually prefer this later version. Different front, different back, and different door handles actually on this. And then it's smaller brother. This is a 1973-74 Peugeot 304S Cabriolet. I think the S meant you got a slightly more powerful engine. Not that powerful. I think these have like a 1.3 or something like that. They're not particularly big engines. Again, this one's right-hand drive. Very, very stylish, rather like its bigger brother. What a lovely car. Really, really thin tyres as well. Don't know much about the bikes views, so we're going to skip those and we're going to go on to this lovely BMW 2002. Now, some of these cars were actually present at the event I attended at the Hunters Inn in Swanmore a couple of weeks ago, which is fine. A lot of them also are members of the Loxley Classic Car Club. So 73-74 again, this car. It's actually a very rare version of a 2002. This is a TII version. The second I is for Kugelfischer mechanical fuel injection. And they're very valuable, these. I think they're about £30,000 or something these are worth now. Next to it, something else from a little bit earlier. Obviously, as a member of the Volvo Owners Club, I'm delighted to see this. This is a Volvo 164. It's got a 6-cylinder engine in it. It looks like a 144, but it's not. It's got a very different front end, and we've got a very lovely biscuit leather interior in here. We've also got automatic transmission. Door handles are very familiar because they were used on the 240 until 1993, these door handles. Look at that. Very, very different front end than a 144. So February 72 disc in there, so yeah, 71, 72 plate. I think the facelift for the 144 was about 71, so makes perfect sense. It's a lovely car. Next to it, we've seen this quite a few times now. This is a unique car. I think it's a 1963, this one. It's an Austin A110 Westminster, but it's had an estate body put on it. This has actually been done by the person who owns it. It is pretty much unique. It looks factory, this. It's amazing, but that is unique. It's been done in-house, so to speak, which is brilliant. Next, we've got a Rover 3500. Relatively early SD1 on an S plate, so 77, 78. Lovely colour. I forget the name of this colour now. Crazy tape deck that goes in the sort of other way. There's actually another early SD1 in this kind of scene down here as well, which you would assume it's like a red colour. This one's a blue one. And then we've got a couple of DeLoreans, two of them. There were only 2 model years for the DeLorean, was 1981 and 1982, so that's what both of these will be. Very appropriate plate because the model name of these is the DMC-12. And yes, I'm certainly getting Back to the Future vibes.
See where they go.
Then a couple of cars, I think, which were also at the event at Swanmore a couple of Sundays ago. Got this lovely 1955 Zephyr Zodiac, and then this 1995 Bentley Turbo RL, which is always every event I seem to go to, which is not a problem. The gentleman owns this is called Hunt, and he's really nice actually. He also, rather like me, he likes purple 1990s luxury saloons, and it is absolutely delightful. You can see in the 50s Ford were very proud of the fact that Ford of Britain was a separate company from Ford of Germany. Even got the little emblem there. Quite wise actually having that high level rear brake light. Then we've got a lovely Triumph TR6, like the Volvo 71, 72 on a K plate. This is in immaculate condition. Look at this paint. I wonder if this has just been done. That is really, really nice.
Oh, you do. So somebody else has booked that for you.
Mind you, I think I prefer this. This is a 73, 74 Jaguar XJ12L Series 2. And that is beautiful. None of the usual rust on the headlamps and things on this. And a beige leather interior with wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers. And Jaguar do seem to provide very nice beige leather interiors. This one has twin fuel tanks, which you're going to need because I think the fuel consumption on this car is worse than my Audi V8. Next we've got this MGC GT 3-litre automatic. Yes, this has got a 6-cylinder engine. It is an automatic one. The automatic ones were always rare on the MGBs and MGCs, but this is one here. Have a look at this information sheet that might actually give the year of manufacture of this. Or does it? No. Plate will have just suffice. Found back to 67 or 68 then, in that case. And then we have the 67 Austin A40 Farina Countryman, which lives locally to us in Eastleigh, which is always at all the events in this part of the world. One of these days I should have a go at one of these, shouldn't I? I know we do have one that you can drive at Great British Car Journey. It doesn't look on camera, but the paint on my Audi is very, very flat. So our Audi, it belongs to me and Simon Lot 76 Cars. This is the first show I'm taking it out for. It does need some work. It needs a good detail, and we're going to re-secure that trim on the C-pillar because it's a bit loose. But there we go. It's actually a pre-1995 meeting, so I'm perfectly entitled to be here this morning, even though most of the cars are actually a lot older than the Audi. Like this Alvis TD21, I think this is, which I believe dates from 1962. Automatic gearbox with this incredible sort of shift lever right at the bottom of the centre console there. Lovely, lovely colour. I've seen this before. I think it was a Swanmore actually as well, this one. And then we've got a lovely Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow 2. This says headlamp wiper action, of course. Someone's got an information sheet that's very handy. This is a 79. I think we might have seen this before as well, actually, somewhere. I can't remember where exactly. All these little events in this area, they've all got sort of the same sort of cars, really, a sort of nice mixture, which is good. And then this Mini Rose, it's not a Cooper actually, this, or is it? I didn't think the Coopers came out in this country till 1990. This is a sort of 1988, 89 plate, so I don't know. But that does look rather nice. Very, very 1980s colour scheme. Then there's this 71 Wolseley 1885, which has been recently imported into this country. You can see here this previous registration number. I think this was from New Zealand or something like that originally.
Yeah. They got about 32.
Very lovely two-tone paper. She will check the information sheet again just to make sure. Yeah, 71. And then we have the Austin Ambassador Wire Edge that we saw at Port Solent just last Sunday. This is 1.7 HL. Having driven one of these cars actually last year, which is a 2-litre HL, this is in remarkable condition. These are very, very rare cars indeed. They only sold them for 2 years. They weren't that popular really. This is Princess wheels on it, Princess alloys, which of course is not a surprise because you can just fit those straight onto an Ambassador because they're fundamentally the same car underneath really. And then we've got something very, very nice. This is a Triumph Dolomite Sprint 7374 registration. I think someone's put some later seats in here. I'm not sure if they had the head restraints in them in the early cars. It looks very similar to the one used in the first series of professionals, which was POK 79R, driven by Lewis Collins. It's a very, very nice condition. Then a 1967 Ford Mustang in this sort of very bright, typical sort of late 60s colour. I haven't seen too many Mustangs actually, apart from the more modern ones, that there's always a large contingent to Port Solent. But that does look, looks rather good. Then we've seen this MGB as well. We saw this actually just change hands here. Saw this MGB at Port Solent last weekend. 7071 registration. It was actually at the time a local plate to this area. Sort of OT was sort of Bournemouth / Southampton plate, I think. So something not gone very far in however many years it is. Then we have a Triumph GT6 Mark II, which is really interesting because the rear lights on the Mark II is different from the Mark I, which is different from the Mark III, and this rear suspension kept being changed. It looks a little bit tight for me to get in there. I'm not sure I'd be particularly comfortable in this. I think this is probably a 69, judging by the December 17 replica tax disc in there. And of course, the very late Mini pickup is here. It wouldn't be an event in this area without it. And actually we get a chance to inspect it in daylight, unlike the other day at Loxheath. And continuing attempts are made to try to keep the rust at bay, which is a big problem on classic minis. Very, very late Mark 6 mini, this 1995. Mark 7s came out the same year. We had things like different column stalks and a driver's airbag and that kind of thing. So this is a very late one. The Sprite was the bottom of the range at the time. Next to it, 1969 Mini Cooper S Mark II with a 1275cc engine. You see a lot of cars dressed up to look like, you know, Mark 1s and Mark 2s, and this actually is a Mark II, which is brilliant. Then a Mini 30, which you've seen I think a few times before. 1989 this will be, on an F. These have quite a high survival rate actually. I do see quite a few of these around, which is sort of surprising really. Then we've got this very, very late Clubman Estate. This would be 1980. Which was the last year they made these. They were discontinued in favour of the Metro. They were ignored in the classic car scene for many years at Clubman's, but now they're having a bit of a renaissance. Next to it, a Minotaur. There was a Minor earlier on here with some interesting rust on it. This one didn't have any rust, which is good. It's a genuine Tourer worth an awful lot of money. I think they've discontinued the 69 the Tourers, but I can't remember now. 68 approximately on an F. Obviously, happy for a picnic. It's a bit cold for a picnic today, really, viewers. Wonderful luggage rack in the back of that. And then a little Frog Ice Sprite. Be about 1959, something like that. That's in very nice condition. Again, rather like the GT6. I'm not sure I'd fit very well in there. It might be a little bit cramped. Beautiful condition, 1972-73 Triumph Spitfire Mark IV with a 1.3 engine. I do believe we saw this at Hunters in Swanmore fairly recently. That is again in really, really nice condition. I forget the name of this colour. Is that mimosa yellow or something else? So we've had a couple of other cars turn up. DeLoreans have left, and in place we've got this 1930s Riley. I think this is a Kestrel. I can't remember now. I'm not very good on these old cars, but that is particularly handsome. It's very nice indeed. We've had a pair of friends turn up, one of them in this de Cheval, and the other one in this absolutely enormous 1960 Cadillac. It's very much a case of little and large. The 2CV is actually one of the very last made. This is an 89 or 90 on a G. By the time they were made in Portugal. See if we can get the Cadillac as it sort of goes out as well. There we are. Quite a contrast between these two, isn't there? So this MGB's turned up. It's one of the very last of them actually. That's a 1980 only it can be. It might have been registered in 81. The last one I've seen of it is registered in 1986. So it did obviously last a lot longer in dealerships, and nobody really wanted them towards the end. Although now, you know, there's very high survival numbers of these, and that does actually look quite nice. I like rubber MGBs. Right, viewers, I'm going to leave because it is absolutely freezing and my car doesn't really have a heater at the moment. So yes, we shall depart. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video in the comment below, and we shall see you again very soon for some more correct information.